Where do you work? English Lessons for Beginners Lesson 9. Hello, students. Today we're going to talk about workplaces. First, we're going to review the names of jobs that we did in the last lesson, so here we go. An artist. A singer. A writer. An engineer. First of all, these small words usually talk about where the place is. These are called prepositions. And in English, the preposition comes before the noun. Now here's some sentences. My sister is a nurse. She works in a hospital. My brother is an architect. He works in an office. My daughter is a website designer. He works at a restaurant. I am a teacher. I work at a school. Now here's some vocabulary of workplaces. So these are the names of places where people work. A bank. A school. A hotel. A restaurant. A hospital. A factory. An office. A store. Now I want to make some questions, and then the answers will include these words. So here's the question. Where does a teacher work? A teacher works at a school. Where does an architect work? An architect works in an office. Where does a waiter work? A waiter works in a restaurant. Where does a sales assistant work? A sales assistant works in a store. Where does a taxi driver work? A taxi driver works in a taxi. Now there are some special words that used at home, at school, at work. Now we can do these two ways. Where does she work? She works at home. Where is she? She is at home. Alright, now let's practice. Where does a homemaker work? A homemaker works at home. Is your mother a homemaker? Yes, she is. Does she work at home? Yes, she does. I work in an office. A waiter works in a restaurant. My teacher works at school. We are at work. Is your sister at school? No, she isn't. My sister is at work. She works in a restaurant. Okay, now we're going to talk about the. Before we saw a and an. Today we're going to talk about the. The is when there is only one or we know it from before. So, the is very specific. So, a and an are general. The is specific. Alright, now for example. I see a teacher. The teacher is in the classroom. Here is another example. In our world there's only one moon. I see the moon. Now let's practice some more. These sentences don't have a or the. So you will put them in. We will do these one by one. Remember, a or an are general, the is specific. My brother is waiter. He works in restaurant. Restaurant is in shopping mall. Shopping mall is on big street. Street's name is Main Street. My brother is a waiter. He works in a restaurant. The restaurant is in a shopping mall. The shopping mall is on a big street. The street's name is Main Street. Alright, now we're going to talk about verbs and we're going to talk about time words. Frequency adverbs. Always, usually, often, sometimes, rarely, seldom, never. Now these are called frequency adverbs, so these give information to a verb usually in a simple present. So these words go with a verb. They go in two places in a sentence. So let's talk about the first one. With most verbs, they go before the verb. I always speak English. He never goes to the cinema. We often work in an office. Sometimes and usually can go at the beginning of the sentence. Sometimes I work in an office. Usually he works in a store. The second one with be verbs. She is always beautiful. They are usually polite. You are never rude. Now here are two new questions. Here's the first one. How often do you work? I always work. Alright, now this is one question with this kind of word. Now another one is. How often are you shy? I am usually shy. Now we're going to work a little bit more with verbs. Notice we have learned that he, she, it has to have an S with it. For example, she works. He sings. The first group has to have DS. Wash. He washes. Teach. She teaches. Dress. She dresses. Fix. He fixes. The second group is a little more difficult. We learned that Y is sometimes vowel. There are two kinds of sounds with the vowel Y. One sound is a package I, OI, UY. For the package sound of a Y, there is no change in spelling. Play. He plays. Enjoy. She enjoys. Buy. He buys. Stay. She stays. Now one sound of the Y sound is E. When is the end of the verb after a consonant, we have to change it to S. So one sound is the E sound of Y. When it is at the end of the verb after a consonant, we have to change it to add S. Look how we do it. Cry. He cries. Try. She tries. Study. She studies. Carry. It carries. So notice that you have to take out Y and change it to I. Then you have to add E and S. Now we're going to practice. One sentence at a time, and we're going to make the correct verb. So here's it's a story. Bobby is a little boy. He, a lot. He, to play games with big children. He, a lot. His mother. She, toys for him. He, them. Alright, now let's look at the story again. She, him and she. Him. He. It. Then he. Bobby is a little boy. He cries a lot. He tries to play games with big children. He plays a lot. His mother worries. She buys toys for him. He carries them. She teaches him and she kisses him. he enjoys it, then he washes. And then we can add one more sentence to make this story complete. He is a funny boy. Now let's do some more pronunciation. This time we'll look at the sound of the letter O, but short O. Here are some words that you know. Not, on, John, blonde, pot, bond, dawn, odd. Now the next is with short A. Now here's some words. An, at, answer, man, ask, and, actor, taxi. Now the third group is with E. Men, pen, send, sell, technical, dentist, pet, ed, bend, den. Okay, now we're going to do some final review. Here are some questions. Okay, now let's do some final review. Okay. Alright, now it's time to listen and write. Write these words. Number 1, restaurant. Number 2, office. Number 3, hospital. Number 4, school. Number 5, home. Number 1, restaurant. Number 2, office. Number 3, hospital. Number 4, school. Number 5, home. Now read these sentences. I will say each sentence 2 times. Number 1, my mother works at home. Number 1, my mother works at home. Number 2, her aunt usually goes to work in a factory. Number 2, her aunt usually goes to work in a factory. Number 3, a waiter is usually polite. Number 3, a waiter is usually polite. Number 4, a teacher always teaches in a school. Number 4, a teacher always teaches in a school. Number 5, Tom's aunt never goes to a restaurant. Number 5, Tom's aunt never goes to a restaurant. Now check your work. Number 1, my mother works at home. Number 2, her aunt usually goes to work in a factory. Number 3, a waiter is usually polite. Number 4, a teacher always teaches in a school. Number 5, Tom's aunt never goes to a restaurant. Now read the story and answer the questions about it. Tom is an accountant. He is a manager too. He usually works in an office. The office is on a big street in a big city. Tom is married. His wife's name is Jane. She is a teacher. They have 2 children. Their son is 12 years old and their daughter is 10. Jane's mother lives in their house. She usually takes care of the children. She teaches them too. She loves them a lot. They love her. They love their father and mother too. This is a happy family. Now listen to the questions and write your answers. What does Tom do? Where does he work? Is he divorced? What is his wife's name? What does she do? How many children do they have? How old are they? Who takes care of the children? Does she teach them? Do the children love their grandmother? He is an accountant. He is a manager. He works in an office on a big street. No, he isn't. Her name is Jane. She is a teacher. They have 2 children. They are 10 and 12 years old. Their grandmother takes care of them. Yes, she does. Yes, they do. How are you doing?
I am doing well. How about you?
I am doing well, too. I am getting married soon. So, I'm really busy these days.
Really? Congratulations.
Thank you.
When are you getting married?
I'm getting married next month. Please come with Amber.
Okay. I got it.
Well, I'll see you then. I gotta go.
Yeah, okay. See you then.
Yes, our lesson is over here. Thank you very much for listening. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel and comment. See you in other lessons.